Howdy, folks. I'm Kaedyn with the 907 Business Buzz podcast, and this is
Robbie Kaedyn with RC Detail.
And we have an awesome guest in the studio today.
We do. We have Erika Dolla Bills with us today.
And in the house.
If people within our community do not know who Erika is, I don't know what rock you've been living under, but it must be a big one.
Yeah, and I don't know who you are because Erika is everywhere.
Everywhere doing everything.
Yeah.
Not really, but I try. No.
I would say so. I would say we see you like in all the places. You wear all the hats.
Yeah, I could say I do. Yeah.
So Erika, who do you work for? What are you with? How do we know you?
So I work for Northern Bank, and I've been there almost 30 years. I started when I was 5.
Wow. And what did you do?
You weren't born when I started.
No, not at all. What did you do there?
Numerous things. So I started out in customer service on the telephone. I then was a new accounts person.
Okay.
I became a salesperson, which I am now. Not the true sense of a used car salesman, but a salesman. Was a branch manager, and I'm a treasury management consultant or business development person now. So I develop business for the bank in the Valley.
We need that.
Yeah, most definitely. Every business needs a good partner, and that's what I consider myself as a good partner in business.
Yeah, I agree. I think Robbie can agree too.
Definitely. I've known Erika since 2018. We actually met each other down at the Matsu Miners baseball field. And
Flipping burgers.
Another thing she does. And when I opened my location up in Wasilla in 2018, Erika was literally there the very first day I was open, reintroducing herself, and talking to me about the benefits and options that Northrim could bring.
That's awesome. And just me dealing with Erika in the last, I don't want to say dealing, sorry, that's rude.
It's
me
okay.
Working with Erika, not necessarily in the banking space, but in all the other spaces we see each other, makes me want to switch to Northrim Bank.
Well, what are you waiting for?
Well, American Express takes good care of me.
But they're not here.
Yeah, they're not here. And there's something so nice about it.
You can't text American Express and say, hey,
right.
Can you help me?
Yeah, no, like I texted you, 2 weeks ago? I was getting ready to sell my camper and I was like, hey, Erika, do you know anybody that notarizes stuff? And you were like, I'm a notary. Come on down. And I was like, heck, yes.
Yeah. So speaking of dealing, this is kind of funny. I have a customer who calls me the people dealer. So imagine yourself, you're walking down the road and you need something, and I have this trench coat on and I open it up and it's not watches, but it's business cards. Back in the day when everybody had their business cards, and then you just pick up, who you need and share that. So it's kind of funny.
It's true.
She's the trench coat business card dealer.
I mean, she's kind of
Somebody
like the local Google.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, if you think about it in our area, in Alaska in general, I mean, there's only like 3 degrees of separation between a lot of people who know a lot of people. So most people, it's like 7 degrees. Mine's like 2.5.
It's very
but it's
true.
okay. It's okay. There's some people you want to know, and there's some people you just don't want to know. But
Absolutely.
obviously,
not.
I want to know you guys because I'm here with you.
Yeah. And we're so glad to have you on. By the way, you are our 4th guest. Well, 5th guest.
Wow.
Although we had a botched episode that we have to re-record. But
That's okay.
That'll be a redo of episode 4.
Yeah. If I keep talking about that, I'll cry. It was bad.
No, you're not going to cry. It's okay. No, there's no crying in this.
Not in Erika world.
Not in Erika world. It has to be pretty bad for me to cry. So
at Northrim Bank, I guess you aren't really searching for clients, but who is your ideal client, we'll say?
Well, there's actually there's no such thing as an ideal. I mean, there are, but that's not what we're looking for. We're looking to help people with their business needs. It doesn't matter what size business it is. We're just there to help.
And what are those needs? Specifically just, I can open an
Everybody
account.
has a checking account. Everybody has a savings account, but there's more products and services in detail that we can help with,
right,
depending on the needs of the customer.
Right.
So depending on if they have employees or if, they're just a one-person deal or, are they looking for credit card services or,
right.
So there's lots of different things we can help with. And they might not even know that those are things that they need until we just talk about it, have a conversation. get to know their business. And that's the biggest thing that we do, or I do, is, you get to know people, you get to know what drives them, what's important to them in their business. Their business is important to them because they chose this as a career. So
Right.
do you want to hear something really funny?
Absolutely.
Do you want to know what I was supposed to be?
What?
A gym teacher.
No.
No way.
Erika,
That's what I went to school for. It was to be a gym teacher.
wait. So if you were a gym teacher, would you have the kids call you Erika Miss Dolla Bills? Or
Well, I don't know, because Dolla came along when I played roller derby.
Oh, so that was after.
Yeah, that was after.
Okay.
But you never know. I mean, and when I was going to school, I wasn't Mrs. Bills yet. So
Well, fair enough. What was the maiden
so
name?
Norton. And so did you ever watch The Honeymooners? That was my nickname in high school.
You just
know?
stumped us.
Oh, okay, that's right. Look at the looks on your face. Okay.
Wow.
All right. Like how long ago? So there was a show on back, I want to say in the 50s. I don't even know. But the main character's last name was Norton. And so his first name was Ed, and his buddy would be like, "Hey, Norton." So in high school, when I was walking down the hallway, that's what I heard. It was kind of funny.
That's what they called you.
Yes.
That's great.
Yep.
I
So,
think you would have been a great gym teacher, though.
yeah.
I feel like you would have had peanut butter balls all up in the gym. And we would have been, if I was a kid back in the day when you would have been teaching, I'd be like, Erika, we need more peanut butter balls.
Well, that would be great as long as they're not allergic to them.
Well, yeah. Well, you know how
All the
like,
nut issues these
gosh.
days.
well, you could just do chocolate balls for those kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you
For
go.
the odd one, we won't say odd ones out. I guess it's kind of normal now. Like peanut butter allergies have skyrocketed.
So yeah, I wanted to be a gym teacher, and then the other was an NHL referee, like an
Oh.
official, like a lineswoman.
Wow.
That's the other job that I wanted to do growing up.
Intriguing.
Yes,
So
I was a big hockey fan.
yeah, I know you're a big hockey fan.
Yeah.
But I know you're also a big race car person.
Yeah,
Too.
yeah.
So
So the hockey came first. That was like growing up. Big Gretzky fan. I played field hockey in high school, and I went to college and had a small scholarship to play. And then my husband and I got married, and we lived in Virginia where racing was it, and that's how we kind of got into it. And yeah, so
Wow.
yeah, we lived in Newport News, Virginia, and there was a racetrack right there. And on Saturday night, we went and helped a local driver. Yeah. And then when we came here to Alaska, it's a little bit different here in Alaska for racing. And we went up to formerly Capitol Speedway, helped a friend up there with their sprint car, who I still know really well. And yeah, he's actually getting back into sprint car this year. And so, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep. But that's how my racing love came along. And I raced myself. I wasn't very good. My car was pretty. But that's okay. I was better at roller derby.
Right? Well, so for people that are looking at you right now through the screen
Oh my gosh.
and are like, I feel like I know that face from somewhere. They probably know you from the racetrack.
Yeah, it's really funny. I'll go somewhere. I go shopping, grocery shopping at like 6:30 in the morning, so I don't get stopped in the store by the paparazzi. No, only kidding.
Basically.
I just, my downtime with my family is important, and like to get through the grocery store sometimes on a day when there's lots of people in there. Hi, hey, hi, who, what? Okay, but
that sounds exhausting.
yeah. So anyway, you just you get to know a lot of people from different venues. I mean, before I worked at Alaska Raceway Park in the summertime, I raced at North Star Speedway, which is no longer.
Where
There's
was that?
right across, like basically down the road, where Valley Country Store is now near the
Oh.
ranch. So
Okay.
the back stretch is now their back is like their back parking lot.
That would have been a badass spot for a
It was a
racetrack.
great spot. It was a quarter mile inside racetrack, so it was small. You were constantly turning.
What?
Constantly, yeah.
That's crazy.
So I drove a Legend car,
Okay.
which
I
is
know
a
those.
replica of a 37 Chevy sedan. Has a motorcycle engine in it.
Right.
So my husband was my pit crew along with my daughter when she was little. So my dad used to work there. My mom used to work there. So it was a family thing. So after I raced, I started to run the track. So all of this, I'm still working my regular day job. So
But that's you see, this is you wear all of the hats.
Yeah.
Right?
well, some of us like work early in the morning.
Right.
We're early risers, right, Robbie?
That's true. Her and I, yeah.
I brought you donuts at like,
5:30, 6
In-
o'clock in
in
the
the
morning. Yeah. Driving by, seeing my truck out in the parking
I'm like,
lot.
what is he doing there?
That's crazy. So I see, mind you, I moved to the Valley in 16, 17, right? In that year. And all I can remember was that was just a field where they just started building houses.
Yeah.
And so you're telling me there was a big enclosed building there?
So the racetrack kind of sat down
Okay.
in like a bowl. So,
Wow.
yeah. So
That's
you can go up, you can go through the ranch and you can see it from the backside. Some of the billboards are still up and yeah, it's
Wow.
kind of sad in a way, but the owner passed and, the kids didn't want it. And noise ordinance was always an issue in there. So yeah.
Well, and that's even an issue at Alaska Raceway Park.
It is, but we've tempered it and we know, past 9:30 p.m. we can't race. So we're always watching the clock on Saturday and Sundays. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I feel like that's the best time to race,
yeah. Well, you have to, as long as it's still light.
Right, yeah. Well, and in the summer here in Alaska, I mean, we have light till midnight.
I will tell you though, it's the most beautiful. I've been to a lot of racetracks in my lifetime so far, and it's the most beautiful place because on the drag strip side, you're racing right to the bottom of Pioneer Peak, basically. So
I've had the privilege of racing out there myself, and it is beautiful.
it is beautiful. So anyway,
Here, look, we can pull up the old Raceway Park here.
look at that. Oh, there it
Check
is.
that out. Isn't that the most gorgeous thing? Like,
It is.
this is an old picture.
It
Well,
is.
relatively new.
It's a couple years old because those are uniforms from a couple years ago.
Yeah, and then towards the end of the season, right? Because season ends when?
So we start Mother's Day weekend, May 10th, and we end Labor Day weekend.
Wow. So
So, very short period of time.
you can see the snow melting away at the beginning of the year.
Yep.
It's gorgeous.
It is.
And
It
then the
is.
mountain, like mid-year, July 4th, best time to go to the track.
2 years ago, it was like 90 degrees out there. So
It was amazing. I was out there. I had my truck. I had my cooler. I had 5 cases of Mountain Dew, and I probably drank 3 of them.
oh my gosh, it's a lot of
Well,
dew.
and I was like sleeves cut off the shirt. I took some scissors out of the
Wow, did
Eschlingers.
we all have sunglasses on to see that?
No, you needed them.
Probably.
But like 3 hours in, I look like a tomato. I went to the Eschlingers trailer and they had a pair of scissors and they're wonderful.
Did
I
they
went
have sunscreen for you too?
no.
Oh no.
No, we rocked no sunscreen. I think I even have a picture of me burnt, but
Yeah.
irrelevant.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a really cool place to hang out in the summertime, and it when you don't race, you just work there. So I am the pit boss on the circle side, so I take care of all the drivers and make sure they're safe, and there's no confrontations or anything like that. And then on the drag side, I'm the concessions manager, so I cook. So there's another thing that I do.
So you're a better lunch lady.
Yes, pretty much.
So you're still somewhat in the space of like, man, I want to be somewhere in the school, but I can't.
Yeah, no, I don't want to be in school.
No.
I can't handle other people's children. So,
There's a great map of the park. I've never even seen this.
yeah,
That's so
it's definitely a great place to be, and if it's nice outside, then yeah. I mean, we had some not so great weather last season, so we're hoping for some good weather this year.
Right. Well, I mean, there was 2 or 3 good times when I went out to the track, and I put the Traeger in the bed of the truck. My new truck has the plug-in, so I'm out there grilling steaks in the bed of my truck.
I don't want to hear about your steaks. Like, I'm the concessions manager.
yeah.
Did you not hear that?
I'll bring you one. You tell me what you want.
No,
I
no.
cook for people. Anyway, that's how we make money out there.
Well, yeah, but I'll bring you food. You got to eat too.
Okay. All right. All right.
No, this place is gorgeous, and
Yeah.
definitely like there's a junior dragster right there.
Yep.
There's so many fun events that go on, and you can even race your own car out there at
can.
points in time.
Yep. There's like 4 this summer scheduled where you can come and pay like $25 and go down the track as many times as you want.
The
Right.
first one's coming up in May, right?
It is, I believe so. And it's all out on the ARP website. So
I know we plan on being there that
100%.
weekend with
it's
our
a trip.
BMWs.
It is so much fun. I do miss, so I was the water box person before I took over the kitchen. And I do miss being right there on the line with the cars
Oh,
because
that would be fun.
it's just, you could feel the rumble in your body.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh yeah. There's some cool cars that go down that you're just
heck
like,
yeah.
"Wah," and you're like, man, do I plug my ears or do I just let it happen?
Yeah. I mean, we're in the kitchen most Sundays just like shouting at each other because you can't hear anything because I have the window open because of course I want to hear everything that's going on. So
Right, because it's broadcast on the radio, which is cool. So if
Right.
you're almost anywhere in the valley, you can hear
Yeah.
what's going
Yep.
on.
we have the broadcast on both the circle and the drag strip side. So yeah.
What
It's
radio
fun.
station does that play on?
Ooh, you stumped me there. But
97.1.
there you go.
That's the radio station.
Yeah, and
the frequency kind of catches right in the track area. It's not too far up beyond that, but
okay, gotcha. See, it'd be cool if we could get Erin to like do a ping. You know, Erin
I bet
Moore.
she would.
She probably would.
Yeah.
That'd be so cool. Like driving down the highway and getting to hear like, oh, this guy won at the racetrack.
So funny story. Michelle Lackey Michelle Lackey owns Alaska Raceway Park, and Michelle and I played roller derby against each other. She played for Fairbanks. I played for Denali. Yep. So
She would be a fun one to have on at some point.
yeah, she would.
Yeah.
She would. But that's how I got to know her, was by roller derby first. I knew her dad because city council meetings on noise ordinance and such.
Right.
you
Yeah.
know,
You guys
but-
got in trouble a lot out there.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't necessarily there. It was at North Star.
Oh, okay.
So because of the neighborhood right there. So
Right.
But let's see what else. Matsu Miners.
Yeah.
We've got the grillers and volunteer there. That's a lot of fun.
That is a ton of fun.
Robbie and I are out there, and Lynn and my dad and my husband and my daughter. So she started in the concession stand one year, and that's what brought us to grilling. And so now I do it almost every game, except when I'm at the racetrack on the weekends. So, but talking about how you know people, like some days it's hard. Somebody will say hi to me. I'm like, hi, how are you? And I'm like thinking, okay, please throw me a bone here. Like, tell me like where I know you from, because, I was in Costco in Anchorage one day. This is like 5 years ago. And somebody came up to me and said, hey, how you doing? How's everything? And I'm like, oh my God, who is this? Afterward, he gave me some hints, and he's like, yeah, I met you in Willow up at Capitol, 20 years ago. And I'm like thinking, and I was supposed to remember who you were.
Wow.
Yeah, but he remembered me, so I was like, okay. I feel bad when I don't remember people. That's hard, but like when you're in so many organizations or you're different things, I'll be like, okay, do I know you from the minors? Do I know you from, school? Because also I was very, I spent a lot of time at Colony High School. While McKenna was in high school, marching band stuff. I was very integrated in helping the school. So yeah. So that was a lot of things that we did too. So like you'd be like, where did I know that? Who are you? Where do I know you from? Throw me a bone. Like, help me out here. So are you a customer?
That's one thing, because you're like, in my mind, right? When I think about the Matsu community, there's probably a big group of people that I can think of that are like pillars of the Matsu community. And I would say you are 150,000% one of those pillars.
Well, thank you very much.
I definitely have to agree with you.
Yeah. Like when you see Erika somewhere, you're like, I know that lady from somewhere.
Right.
Like,
So I've been past president of the Wasilla Chamber twice. I've been past president of the Matsu Food Bank twice. I was the president of United Way once on the Palmer Chamber. We had a board of directors for the racetrack at one time. I was on that board. So, I helped a lot with the boosters at the high school for not only hockey, because my daughter was the hockey manager, and because we love hockey.
right.
And also for marching band. So yeah, you're in the community doing the right thing for the community. Like that's a huge thing. Like, you want to make it better. You want to help. You want to do what you can to make it the best place possible to live and work. I've had so many opportunities I could go to Anchorage, be whatever in Anchorage at the bank, get a promotion, but this is my home. This is where I live. This is my community. This is where I know everybody. I still know a lot of people in Anchorage, but not as many people as here.
They're not as cool. They're
Right?
not as cool.
But I think that's an important factor too. You've got you love your sense of community and your people.
Yeah.
And we've experienced that together doing multiple events and things over the years. And even in our own business relationship between the two of us, because I am a North Rim customer, I can fully attest to the power of having a local banker. And that sounds kind of funny to say in this day and age, because Kaedyn, you use American Express.
Yep.
I use North Rim. And the ability to have my bank lady a phone call away, no matter what I need, whether it be, hey, I can't get to the bank, I need a cash deposit. Can you help me out? Now, I'm not saying she can do that all the time,
Right.
but
This isn't working. Can you figure out why it's not
right.
working?
Or when it comes to the lending side,
Right.
Small business lending sucks across the board. Northrim is locally owned and operated. They've been in Alaska,
35 years this year.
Right.
So I started on, this is another funny, cool story. So I started at the bank on the 5-year anniversary. So here's little old me. I'm a customer service person when we had 3 of them in the main branch in Anchorage. And my first day, we got to go and have champagne in the boardroom with all the loan officers and all the big people of the bank. And that was almost 30 years ago. So the bank's 35 this year. I'll be 30 this year. I know I look great, don't I?
Yeah.
But you know, I had the opportunity to come out here and work. Steve and I were living on base because he was in the military, and you know, it was fine. But we wanted to be somewhere where we could embrace things. And I watched my parents do that, and it was important to me. And it was important to me that when my kiddo needed something, I'd be right here. I wasn't 45 minutes, an hour away. You know, Steve unfortunately couldn't do that. He was here. He worked in Anchorage on base. But for me, I was here. I could run down to the school if something was needed, or I could volunteer. And that was really important because this day and age, people don't volunteer.
No.
We're seeing the phase out of the, you know, older folks that are like, I'm tired of volunteering. You know, some people new needs to volunteer. So we just need to teach people how that looks.
Right. We've had this conversation before, and we see it in
Everything.
Are, you know, a demographic, I'm going to say between 30 and 50-year-olds who are in small business or business in general. It's so much easier for somebody to whip out their checkbook and cut you a check. Now, while sponsorships and donations monetarily are great, sometimes we just need butts in the seat to help.
Right. People to be there to check you in.
Well, and in this day and age, people are holding on to their cash a little bit more. They might not sponsor at a higher level or what have you. They might just take time to come and do something or do something in kind. So, which is wonderful. You know, having somebody come and help, there's nothing wrong with that. We love that. So no matter
100%.
what the organization is, but the younger generation's still learning that, and they just need to volunteer. It's fun. It's something to do, you know, like
And
I'm looking at the miners, you know, the parade and
that
stuff.
is an old picture of Pete.
Yeah, it is. He
He's so
still looks
young.
good. He still looks young.
Yeah.
But you know, we had the auction not too long ago, and we both volunteered at the auction.
Yep.
You know, and it's fun. You get to know people. You know, everybody knows me as the griller at the games, and that's great. I mean, people walk up and they talk to my dad because he used to work at the gym, and they know him from there. And mind you, this man is 86 years old and he still works. And he asked me the other day, when is the first game again? When are we going to the baseball field? Because he enjoys doing it.
Right.
You know, it's fun to him. It's not work, you know, so.
Well, and I think people get that confused nowadays, like in my age group. They're all just like, my time is for me. I'm going to do this. And like, I think it's really frustrating to see that in the community. It's like, come on, guys, like we're here to work together. We aren't, you know, everybody needs to stop being so self-absorbing and get out there and just have fun with their community members.
Right.
Robbie and I talked about it, and I think our plan is we're going to try and do some volunteer work at the track. And, you know, part of it, it's not spending every weekend of your life out there. It's not devoting your life to this thing, although you take a lot of pride in what you do with that. But like, if you can just get out there and participate and show your face and put a hand in, right? Put a shovel down, like whatever it is that your community needs, I think it's really important that people start doing that.
Yeah, I totally agree. It just takes one time.
Yeah.
You know, there's tons of organizations out here that are always looking for help, whether it's a matter of cleaning a flower bed. I know that we do that for the bank for some organizations, or, you know, helping on cleanup day, picking up garbage, you know, the citywide garbage cleanup.
Yeah.
You know, or going out the highway. I had a friend who used to do it, and he'd just go up and down the highway. He didn't work. He was retired. He'd go up and down the highway on any given day with garbage bags and just pick up garbage, you know, but there's nothing wrong with doing that. Something like that.
No, not at
You
all.
know? I mean,
We need more people. We say it all the time. We
Right.
need more volunteers.
right.
You know, and we we kind of have a bit of an age gap here. I mean, I'm 38, Kaedyn's 20 years old. And 19.
Oh my gosh.
Goodness. I'm old enough to be your dad.
I'm not even going to say anything.
But we see that, yeah, the, 19, 20, and 20, that area of young people, I don't want to say they don't want to get out, but we don't see as many of you as we wish we did.
Or I'll say it the harsh way. They don't care. They care about the brick in their pocket and that it's charged. I mean, and it's really frustrating. It's like, the amount that people are addicted to their phones and just on it all the time. Mind you, I enjoy my phone a lot, but like doing stuff like this, being in your community, talking to people, seeing faces, especially after the whole COVID thing when people were tucked up in their houses for a year, being able to get out there and see people and just feel the presence of somebody in your life.
I see that a lot also with, and this is just me personally, most of my job at the bank is to go out and see people, see customers, go to meetings, help them with what they need. And a lot of times some of the other financial institutions might just or not even pick up the phone. They might just send an email. Well, how do you get to know someone if you don't go visit with them? As a business, I want to see what you're doing. I want to see your organization. I want you to show me. And that's how I get to know you better. And then when you need something, then I'm like, hey, I saw this in whatever, and I can help you with it. So yeah. Just to get to know people better. But yeah, put your phone down, people. Honestly.
Absolutely.
I mean, we used to, when my daughter was in high school, and I think she hated this day, like Tuesday nights. And my husband is just as guilty because he's a tech guy. He's an IT guy. Tuesday nights, we would have no tech, all your iPad, your cell phone, your laptop had to be put away. And we had conversation during dinner. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Like people don't do that anymore.
No, I mean, in my family, and my family dynamic was pretty horrible. It was super different. Like we didn't even eat dinner together. And it was pretty wild. And I think part of that, in part, like that's just people on their phones. My parents would either make dinner or say, figure it out and then go to their rooms and everybody would just kind of go their separate ways. Mind you, I had, younger siblings that were 8, 9, 10 at the time. So
Steve was a night shifter for a long time. So a lot of times he was at work.
Right.
So like now the weekends, we Saturday and Sunday, we're trying really hard to eat dinner together and have conversation like last night. So you also guys know that I'm a big Iditarod supporter. My friend Gabe Dunham was running the Iditarod. She came for dinner last night and we chatted. So nobody had their phones out. We wanted to hear what she had to say. We wanted to hear about the trail, about the dogs, what was going on. Big supporters. We went up to support the Iditarod up there. A lot of fun. You will never know how strong 16 dogs are until you have to hold them back at the start line. It's incredible.
I believe it.
And I don't care what anybody says. They are athletes and they just wanted to go. Literally, we were holding them back and it was crazy. So not to change the subject again, but those are cool things.
This is what we're here for. We're having a conversation, just a normal conversation. Like, I think it's important that.
But again, there's another volunteer thing. Like I don't have to do that. She's a good friend. I want to see her do well and support her. Back in back in February, we had a fundraiser for her, raise some money because the fees for the Iditarod are pretty expensive. So I didn't have to do that, but I wanted to because I wanted to help her. Right. Again, back to volunteering. You're doing it because you want to, not because you have to.
Right.
It's the right thing to do.
Yeah. I mean, and it doesn't even have to necessarily be community oriented. For example, when Robbie was opening his new shop in Palmer, I spent the first 2 months with him tearing that thing apart and putting it back together any way I could.
Right.
Hey, I got a trailer for this. I've got a trailer for that. Like, what can we do to make sure that it works?
And it's what business people do to help each other too.
Yeah.
I mean, just to get done what you need to get done because you were on a time crunch. You wanted to do it a certain time. And
right. And I was super blessed by, the people in the community that did come and help you two specifically, and Joe Chase, and I mean, you helped me throw my grand opening. You didn't have to do that.
No,
Erika saved the day.
Did.
She came in clutch with the sandwiches.
If something could have gone wrong that day, it did. And
All of it.
But that is
Erika,
how it always is on something like that when you're trying to
Right.
prepare.
But the great support that I had that day made it
Right.
happen.
But like, even if you're talking about helping people or volunteering, if people don't know, then just find something that interests you, like sharing something on Facebook.
How can I help?
Somebody is looking for Girl Scout cookies right now, then I tag my friend who I know who has 500 boxes and she's trying to get rid of them. Or, there's just lots of things out there that you could share.
Right. Absolutely. That's a topic we hit in the last episode with Jake Nelson. And I think this has been a theme throughout all of our episodes, has been like, your network is like everything, especially in a small community like this. And so you being that business card dealer,
I like it.
I think that's great.
I think we need to.
That needs to go on her business card. Erika Dolla, business card dealer. But like that sense of community, I don't do gutter work. I don't do roof work, but I know a guy that does.
Right.
And even though we're in somewhat competing industries, we don't have to compete. We know each other, and it's like, hey, I can't do that job in Anchorage. Do you want to take it?
Right.
I think that's so important, and that kind of falls back on what you were just saying.
Yeah. And I feel like, and this is just me, peopling is difficult as it is now more than ever. Ever since COVID, dealing with people, dealing with customers, dealing with other, I don't know, employees, it's just more difficult now because there's higher expectations. Everything is immediate. Everybody wants everything now, because everything's at our fingertips, not like it used to be. You had to wait before and it was a little bit different.
Right.
But now, so building relationships and helping each other should be a natural thing for all of us to just do and what's right. The peanut butter balls. Okay.
We have to talk
Are
about that.
we finally getting to this?
Yeah,
We're like
sorry.
45 minutes in, and I'm like, my
Well, you
God.
told me to talk.
Oh, I want you to talk. No,
You tell the best stories, by the way.
So the peanut butter balls. So it's my mom's recipe. And it was something that she made every Christmas. Every Christmas I was, I had to roll them and, I have pictures of McKenna rolling them. And when she got in high school, we used to do, what do you call it? Sales for food sales, whatever, in the school. And, I do always made peanut butter balls and they were always everybody's favorite, but I gave them to them. It wasn't, they didn't have to buy them. So somebody said to me, have you ever thought about, there you go. Have you ever thought about selling them? And I'm like, well, not really. Oh, there they are.
Look at these. These are gorgeous, and they are the most amazing thing to hit your taste buds. Call Erika.
Anyway, so somebody said, well, why don't you sell them? And I'm like, well, I guess I never thought of it that way. So I started selling them, and all the money, there you go. All the money goes into McKenna's school account. So I buy everything, and everything goes in her school account for her to go to school.
So that to me is the most selfless act a mom could do. That's gonna make me cry a little bit. Sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely. Like, if my mom did that for me, I would have been a completely different person towards her. Like, it's so beautiful.
Oh. Well, she wanted to go to UC Davis in California, and her dad and I are like, okay, she looked at other schools. That was where she wanted to go. Davis was very similar to like Palmer. So she really liked it. She has her bachelor's degree in biochemistry and molecular biology. Well, that's a lot to say.
That's a lot.
And so, those are Halloween. Those are eyeballs. Those are pretty popular.
Those are so cool.
So yeah, a lot of peanut butter balls over the last, 6 years because I started making them right like before she was done in high school, and I continue to do them, and I enjoy making them. I stand at the kitchen counter. I've joked with Steve. I'm like, how can I put my treadmill here while I'm rolling to walk? So anyway, so I stand, I have a glass of wine. I watch like Law and Order or, those ghosts, and the ghosts look like they're just drunk. They were tasty, but they just, that was a good experiment. Anyway.
Wine and making peanut butter balls sounds amazing. Do you need volunteers?
Yeah. But I mean, it's very relaxing. Cooking to me is also very relaxing. So like, So anyway, peanut butter balls, all that money goes into her, and like if somebody does trade or something for it, I still take the money and put it in her account because it's really important to me that that's her money. It goes in there. We got her through her first 4 years without any debt, which is really important. And so we're looking forward to the next 4 years when she goes to vet school.
So buy some dang peanut butter balls,
right? But like, again, going back to where you like to do something or you like to help people, it's always fun. Not fun, but like if somebody is ill, or like I brought you soup one day because I knew you weren't going to eat.
Right. She takes good care of me.
I didn't have to do that. But like if I have a friend who's having surgery or whatever, I'm the queen of casseroles.
Oh, they're good in the freezer. They're good to reheat.
Right. But I don't like, that's just a good thing to do. My mom used to do it all the time. We have this one recipe is it's kind of funny. It's called funeral potatoes. It's not.
I feel like I've heard about these, right?
Yeah, they're really good, but I don't call them funeral potatoes. I just call them potato casserole because you could make it.
I grew up in Utah. They were called funeral potatoes.
Yeah. Is this so?
I was looking through the cookbook the other day. Oh, yes.
Sorry. Yeah. This picture here. Tell us, is this what your grocery store trip for peanut butter balls?
Yeah.
Looks like?
It just depends on there's a couple different stores in there that's involved. I'm really frugal as far as like the cost because I'm trying to keep it so that I don't have to raise prices because I don't want to.
Erika's smart.
Yeah.
Plus, well, I mean, here's the deal. Everybody knows that the goal of these is to pay off your daughter's college.
Right.
And, to keep your costs low gives you the most money to put towards that. And it's just beautiful.
I've had the privilege of eating these over the years. I love them. And now Erika has created custom RC detail peanut butter balls, and they go into every detail that we do now.
Yeah, I don't think we have a picture of those.
Oh, they might be on RC detail. Oh, I don't even think they're on RC detail.
I will take a photo tomorrow with them. But they're red and black, and it's a nice little treat. My customers in Palmer have loved them. That's where we've been giving them away. It's just a nice little touch.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's it's something I like to do. So I haven't. Oh yeah, there's that one time. Oh look, there's McKenna. This was when she was little, and we were making them just for like Christmas time
for fun, right?
Yeah. Yep. I don't know if she was trying to roll or like trying to snag that to eat it.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, but it's something fun. Like I said, I roll them. I watch TV. Sometimes at hockey games. Sometimes it's Law and Order. But yeah. It's a lot of fun, and I enjoy doing it. And I try to come up with different recipes, like the eyeballs for the Halloween time. They were really popular last year, so yeah.
I know you've done Valentine
Valentine
ones. I bought little gift plates for Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't eat too many of them at once, man, because they're just. Yeah, they're good, but they're rich.
They're potent. Rich. Yeah, I'm curious if you I've thought about this, and I was like, man, I wonder if she mixed in marshmallow fluff, like 50-50 with peanut butter, if that might be something.
I've made them with jalapeno jelly before.
What?
I've made them with bacon. Yeah, because there's certain people are like, can you try this? Can you try this? What's really funny is I have a cutting board on my stove that has the recipe on it that my mom that was engraved by a friend of mine. It's in my mom's handwriting. So she got this for me, and on the bottom of every recipe my mom wrote, Erika, do not put the butter in the micro. Okay. I also have that tattooed on my arm. My mom cooked a lot, and she used to yell at me for putting the butter in the microwave because it would make chocolate chip cookies flat. So,
it does?
So, yeah.
So you have to melt it on the stove?
You just don't melt it. You just let it, you mix it and cream it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But anyway, this cutting board is on the top of my stove. So if something happens and we think it's like her, sorry, my mom passed about 5 years ago. And so when something happens, like I melted some butter in the microwave one day and I left it in there for too long, the cutting board literally came off the stove.
That's crazy.
Like she was yelling at me or something. But
well, you made some ones. I don't know. This would have been a couple of months ago. I think for a chamber thing. I don't remember. But you came in and your daughter was there, and I remember you saying the board fell off the microwave, and it's not right.
Right. Yeah. And then when it actually cracked, so my husband had to glue it back together. She must have been really mad at me that day.
You must have really messed
Well,
up.
okay, so back to cooking, because we love to cook. I don't like to bake because I don't measure. Okay. And so when you don't measure, it's scientific, things get screwed up.
Yeah.
McKenna likes to bake, so that's great. I like to cook. So whenever we look at recipes that my mom's written, like sometimes we're like, what does that say? Like, did she like forget to like put the rest of the like verbiage on here or what? Like, what does that say? So we have to like figure it out. It just says sugar. Like, how much sugar?
That was the old
It's
school
like an
way.
apple pie. Like, how much sugar are you going to put in
As
there?
much as you feel
I
fancy.
guess. So it's kind of funny. And we'll be cussing at her and be like, hey, like, what? Like, yeah.
That's
so it's kind
awesome.
of cool.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I just want to circle back to the point of like you are such a pillar in this community and I know you don't like this
I don't
phrase.
feel like, I don't know.
You are though. You do so much for everybody and nobody realizes it. And so I want to say thank you from the community and Robbie also wants to.
Definitely. We've had the privilege of working together so much over the years, and even more so currently with the various projects we're participating in. It's inspirational. And
Gonna make me cry.
we talk about our key people and our core people, and I truly believe our core people kind of change within small business in our community as time goes on, and and things progress and change. And I know in my little circle of people, you've definitely come to be one of those core people currently in life, and it's a wonderful
You're stuck with
thing.
me. I'm not going
I
anywhere.
love it.
Yeah,
I love it. And
Erica's the mom that she doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
to a lot of people.
Everybody.
Yep. When McKenna was in high school, our house was the house to be at. It was a safe place.
Right.
That's exactly how we looked at it. Was the kids were always hanging out at our house. It was a safe place. You get a good meal. I made lots of spaghetti in high school for hockey players.
Right.
Imagine.
Well, like I've had a lot of those parents and those families in my life because of my, bad childhood. I had so many other families that stepped in, and I have so many bonus moms and so many bonus parents, and I call you my bonus parent.
Yay.
Like,
I love it.
I feel like if I was having a really bad day or, my girlfriend's having a baby, like I could call on you.
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
I know it's going to be cute and it's a girl. But
Yay.
like, I feel like you're that person that if you need something, you're that lady to call. Like if you're in a really bad spot or you just need somebody to talk to, like you're that lady.
Yeah. Steve was in the military for 23 and a half years, and we saw a lot of people do a lot of stupid things, but we were always the folks that were like, if you need a ride home or you need something, just say the word, don't do something stupid just because you think you can't reach out or you're afraid to reach out. Just say, hey, I need some help.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with saying that. And I'm sure, wherever we're talking, I know you were talking to Aaron on the radio today about mental health, and that's a huge thing, and people do not give it enough respect.
Right.
And so I'm a huge advocate of mental health, and people need to know that you're there for them.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
And it never hurts to remind your friends.
Yeah.
Either.
Yeah.
Don't assume that your friends know that.
I'm one of
about you.
those friends who is like that annoying person. Like, hey, I haven't heard from you. Hey, are you okay? I have friends.
We do it to each other.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. I haven't heard from you in a little bit.
Or did you have a good day today?
Yeah.
Right. Or like, hey, I saw you at the chamber, but I didn't say hi.
Right.
'Cause
I'm sorry.
Everybody's in their circles, and doing their own thing. But like, yeah, I want to say just you bring such a beautiful presence to the community that people, that's not a thing anymore. I feel like
It's not hard to do though. It's
No.
just you're being yourself.
No. And yeah, you're just being there for people. I think one of my favorite quotes, and I don't know who said it actually, but the best thing you can do is show up.
Yep.
And you are the best at showing up.
Yeah. I try to be.
Yeah.
Sometimes, after you people all day, you don't necessarily want to show up, but you just do anyway.
Yeah. We call that not peopling anymore.
Right.
Yeah. And it's a normal occurrence. Everybody gets it.
Like normally at this time, I'm home watching a hockey game. My dad's come for dinner. He eats with us every night. I'm in my pajamas.
right.
That's the first thing I do. I'm like pajamas. I'm playing with the dogs and, cooking dinner, and our family time is pretty important to us. So
yeah. That's what
I'm very fortunate enough to still have my father in my life at 86 years old. I just want to be like him when I grow up because he's still working.
yeah.
It's just crazy.
He's always a happy soul anytime I've seen him.
Yeah. Yep. He likes going to the games. We drag him everywhere. We watched the Wolverine games in Acreage the other night, and unfortunately we had to sit up in the rafters, and I get to see him chugging along to come up the stairs, and I'm like, let me go get him a beer so he doesn't.
Love it. It's so fun to watch. Like I've
His
watched
shuffle?
what? No, the relationship you guys have, you know, and having. I know your dad lives just up the street from you guys, and
And I think that relationship comes from, my dad was not born here. He's Hungarian. He was born in Hungary, escaped during the revolution in 1957, and came here at 17 years old and didn't speak a lick of English. He was in New York City. And, you know, so that is I'm very proud of that fact. I'm very happy that I have that relationship. And we went back to Budapest in November, and just to watch him look at how things have changed there, and then walk on the sidewalk that he walked on when he was 17, you know? And so I'm very fortunate to have him.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I think a child-parent relationship is so important. Just like me, not just myself seeing it, not having that, but other friends and other people that I've seen grow up and not have that relationship, you portray that relationship perfect. You and your daughter have an amazing relationship. You and your dad have an amazing relationship. And I think that the world would be so much better if everybody was like that.
Yeah. You know, we all go through our struggles. You know, Steve and I were married for a very long time before we could have McKenna. They told us we'd never have children. So McKenna was a miracle. And she hates when I say that, but I don't really care.
Well, now she gets to hear it live.
Right. You know, so having her was a dream, and, you know, we'll support her any way we can, as you should with any of your children. You know, you do the best for them that you can. You do better than, like, my childhood was great. I'm not saying it wasn't, but I want to do better for her than my parents did for me, which was not bad, but you always want it to be better.
Right.
You know?
That's definitely been something, a personal goal of mine as well, is, you know, my childhood was not horrible, again, by any means.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw the struggles and tribulations that we go through, as you know, and I've tried really hard to, you know, do better.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because, like, growing up, like, my mom didn't work, but Steve and I both work. So, like, and now you have to both work. It's not like if you want to do things or want things, then, you know, you kind of have to not suffer, but, you know, you give up things, and it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's what we want to do. You know, Steve worked many years of night shifts, so that way he could help with, you know, educational things. So, like, you do that because you want to, not because you have to, you know. Just like growing up, my mom didn't work. My dad worked many hours, and it was outside. He was a laborer. He worked for the water company, and he just worked his butt off. And so now when he asked me to do something, if he could do something, I'm like, it's your money. I don't care. You can do whatever you want with it. You know, I'm not going to hold you back from doing that.
As long as your bills are paid, do your thing.
As long as I don't raid his stash of cash.
Right.
But it's just a matter of just, I don't know, being present in the moment.
Being present, and I feel like you touch so many small businesses with your connections and this loving personality that you have, and it's helped me in a lot of different ways with my business, and I've seen you be able to guide people in the right direction as well, and we don't see that a ton.
Yeah.
So
I mean, and a lot of times, you know, it might be, this is something that we always I talk to about at work, is like, you know, it's about a relationship. It's not necessarily about, you know, of course the bank likes to make money and they're in the banking business, but it's about the relationships we have with our customers and non-customers, because they potentially could be a customer sometime or another. You know, it's just like Jake, you know, with his real estate business, the same thing. You might not necessarily now, maybe it's not the time to change banks. It's no, but not right now. Not no, period. So, yeah.
No, definitely. And, you know, coming from a credit union that was local here to North Rim has been like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
It's local people.
Mm-hmm.
If I pick up the phone and I have to call somebody that isn't Erika,
that doesn't happen. You know that. No, like kidding.
You're just one text away.
Right.
Pretty much. But even,
Right.
we my father-in-law is the best at talking about this. He lives in a small town in Louisiana, and handshake deals.
Yep.
Like, he has a banker. His banker's name is Paula.
Ah,
Paula has been his banker since 1984.
wow.
He can call Paula and be like, I need a loan for this.
hmm
Okay.
Yep.
Not saying that's necessarily quite how North
Yeah.
Rim works
Well,
now.
it used to be more like that. It's not necessarily that we've got these things called regulations that we
Well,
can't do
there's
the
that.
handshake deals
But-
anymore. But
American
relationship.
Express is not doing that for you.
No, they're not. I mean, they're covering your butt on the credit card side, but on the banking side, they're just a place to put your cash.
I bet you can't call American Express and ask them for the business card out of the trench coat.
Probably not. Probably not.
That is 100% going to be a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's kind of funny. My friend Toby, she owns a business in Palmer, and
Are you talking Toby Edmonds?
I am Edmonds Import Auto, and
Okay.
so Toby, that's what she tells. She'll email me, and she's like, "Hey, I need a whatever," and I'm like, "Okay, let me think about who I can give you the information for." So that's her analogy that she came up with was I'm like the Mr. Gadget or
Oh,
whatever.
Inspector Gadget.
Inspector Gadget.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. AI.
Yeah.
We're going to have to see what you can come up with.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I bet we could come up with a photo. Erika's business cards.
Yeah.
That's great.
With the animation.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know. That might be hard, but maybe a GIF.
I don't know. You go for it.
I'll see what I can find.
It's all good.
No, but like, yeah, I think the stuff that you do in the community is so wonderful. And now you have me on a whole nother level thinking of, man, how can we get other people to join in on volunteering and seeing volunteering not just as I'm giving my time and not getting paid. It should be I'm giving my time for my community and for my people. And
Because it's the right thing to do.
yeah,
But I mean, I guess it goes back to like thinking about something you would want to do. Maybe you go volunteer at like an animal shelter if you like animals. And maybe, you have a passion about making sure people eat meals or get meals. You go volunteer at the food bank.
Yeah.
Or be a mentor to a Boy Scout or Big Brothers Big Sisters, or you just pick something that's in your heart.
Yeah.
And go with it.
There is no right or wrong way to
No,
volunteer.
not at all.
If you're going to spend your time doing something,
You might as well do what you like.
right. That's how I've got involved with the baseball field.
Right.
I was going down. I have box seats. Chris and I were there all the time. Denise Christopher approached me and she's like, "Hey, you're here all the time. Would you mind volunteering? Like, I just need help at a game."
Right.
I volunteered at a game. I had a blast. I was like, "Hey, I'd be willing to do this again." And now I run the beer shack.
So that's funny that you say that because we used to go to all the games. We'd be sitting there, and one night, I guess the kitchen was short because it's run by kiddos. They do a great job. And McKenna was with us, and she was about the right age. And Denise is like, "I really could use some help in the kitchen. Do you think McKenna would help?" And so she worked there 4 summers,
Wow.
volunteer. Yep. So
Well, I remember as a kid, I grew up in Anchorage, and both of my older brothers went to Diamond High School. And so my oldest brother, I'm not sure what positions he played, but he was a runner. He was always at the football games, one of the key football players. And as a smaller kid, they were always looking for volunteers in the concession stands. And I remember going in there, and it was so much fun. Like, even not as a kid nowadays, like doing that stuff sounds like fun. Again, putting nacho cheese on your nachos or whatever. I always had a blast.
not only is it fun and you're volunteering, you're learning a skill.
Yeah.
The kids do get some tips there at the minors games, but you're learning a skill. They're learning how to interact with people. They're learning, how to count change back. Imagine that. How to not put it on the counter so people have to scrape it off the counter. That's so annoying. That's like my biggest pet peeve.
Really?
Yeah. Before we had before we had tap cards, like if you had to hand somebody the card and they put it on the counter, that like it'll make me come unglued. Literally.
Really?
That and putting change on the counter. Hand it back to me. I wash my hands. If I don't, the money's dirty anyway. What difference does it make? But like they're learning something even if they're volunteering.
Right.
I mean, there's been many times where like even at roller derby when we played, we always needed volunteers to do something and people just showed up, which was great. My neighbor, He goes to every event. I swear that his name is Tracy Try. And Tracy goes to like every event and takes pictures. He never looks for money for anything. He just goes and volunteers. Like the Iron Dog, the Iditarod. He goes to Derby. He comes to the racetrack. He takes pictures of everything. He chases the Aurora. So again, find something that you like,
right,
and go out and help or volunteer.
Yeah, like
so.
And
like Wasilla Senior Center. If you like if you really like to go and like they'll probably be getting ready to fill their baskets and plant things. They always need help doing that stuff. So if you like gardening, go help them there.
Right, because paying a company to do it is not cheap, mind you.
And if they're a nonprofit, they can't afford to do that.
No, absolutely not. I mean, and I don't do that service, but I know people that do. And I mean, just for a small building, I saw a quote. It was like $6,000.
Yeah,
for planting. That's it.
Yeah, you would hire me actually, though. I think
I would hire you.
I know you would hire me. You know why? Because when I was in high school, I used to mow lawns.
Oh, I would see, but I feel like Erika.
I tell you that
you would be my customer service representative. You'd be the.
My uncle owned a landscaping business, and I think I was like 15, and that's how I learned how to drive a truck. I learned how to drive a tractor,
haul a trailer.
Like I'm thankful for it. It was hard work for $4 an hour.
Ugh.
That's how much we got paid back then. But it was hard work. But I know I can build a retaining wall.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't even have
folks. Not only will she be your personal banker, but if you need your lawn mowed
for cheaper than Snip Clip, you give her a ring.
Kaedyn got hit by a bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like doing yard work, actually.
It's fun.
So it's a joke in our household because, like, I won't let my husband mow the lawn because he doesn't do it right. He just keeps going in this circle.
He doesn't do it right.
Well,
I don't let my husband mow the lawn either.
You know what's funny is a lot of the customers we get, clients, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
Like
customers is a nicer word.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I feel like clients has been like the new thing.
I don't like that word.
Really?
I know.
Okay, well, we'll go with customer then. But like a lot of my customers are calling me, and most of them are the wife, and the wife has been doing the lawn forever.
Right.
It's actually surprising how many more women do their lawn at home versus the husbands. Mm-hmm. It's extremely surprising.
So picture this. Like my neighbors probably hate me because like I mow the lawn at like 7 a.m. on Saturday mornings.
You have things to do. You're a busy lady.
I am.
Yeah.
So like I have to be at the track at a certain time. So I'm out there 7 a.m. on, a Saturday morning mowing the lawn. But I love the smell of the grass.
It's great.
And I love the way it looks afterward.
Yeah.
Because it's not a big circle like my husband
You mow
does.
stripes, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And you mow a different way every time.
Yep, exactly. That
Yep.
way you don't screw up the grass. Yeah. So do you have a ride-on mower?
I do not.
Oh.
I still push. My dad has a riding one,
Okay.
which is pretty funny. I go up and help him with his. So I do it. I do the outside with the push mower, and then he does the riding mower.
That's awesome. So he still gets to have fun doing it.
Yeah.
86, mowing his own lawn,
Yeah.
mostly.
He used to shovel his driveway.
My aunt does that. She's 73, 74.
That's probably why he is 86.
Yeah.
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 He still works.
Yeah.
He works at Meadow Creek.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yep. Meadow Creek Auto Body.
That's funny.
He's the shop guy.
No way.
Yep.
I have a
He
couple of
cleans
buddies.
up after all the guys in the shop doing stuff, and yeah,
Yeah, no, I
their
have
bathroom's never been cleaner.
and it's an 86-year-old man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Some new guy came in one day and he's like, "So Tom, how old are you?" And yes, his name is Tom. It's not really Poppy. So people thought his name was Poppy.
Well, that's fine.
His real name is Thomas. Anyway,
Poppy.
so Tom, how old are you? Are you like 65? And he's like, "Oh no, like 86." But yeah,
Us young goobers getting out there and not knowing ages.
it's all good. It's all good.
I have a couple buddies that work up there. That's hilarious. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Just ask him. Ask him next time you talk to him about Poppy or Tom. Yeah,
And Meadow Creek.
yeah, yeah.
That's crazy.
They're good folks up there, and they work hard, and yeah. But he cleans up all the boxes. He sweeps, and yeah.
That's awesome.
He works like 10 to 3, comes home, takes a little nap, watches Bill O'Reilly, comes for dinner, has his cocktail. His tea. His cocktail. It's tea with brandy.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Blackberry
works.
brandy.
You know what? My best friend's grandpa drinks that crap.
Yeah. It must be like something.
An old
It's got
person thing.
it
It must be.
It smells
This is
good.
funny too. Okay. So
Are you
here's
going to tell him the KKL story?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Let's hear it.
So KKL's by my house, and I went in there one night to get some wine, and they know me in there. And I said, "Hey, can I see you have the bottles of blackberry brandy?" And the lady's like, "Well," I said, "Can I have the ones that are on the shelf?" She's like, "You're gonna take them all?" I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "There's this old guy who comes in and then he won't have them." And so I find a picture on my phone and I said, "Is this the old guy?" And she's like, "Yeah, that's him." I'm like, "It's my dad.
My dad.
You can give them to me."
That's so awesome. You bought the whole shelf for him?
Yeah.
There was just a few left, or
Yeah. No, I bought them all because they're hard to find.
Really?
Yeah. It's a brand that it's called Hiram Walker and it's been around for a long time. But the blackberry brandy is just not.
So it's an old guy
Except
thing.
Lynn found it at Brown Jug. So now I go there and buy the big bottle.
Lynn is my lady's mom, by the way, since we've never introduced her. Lynn is my girlfriend's
Lynn's
mom.
pretty badass too. I'm
She's
sorry I
awesome.
said that bad word.
No, you're fine.
Oh my goodness.
Well, it
There are
could
no
be like
bad
a
words.
donkey.
She's like you. She loves cooking, and her food always has like the most love in it.
Yes.
So good.
Yeah, it's a love language like cooking is. So, but she's like a professional chef.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She went to school.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
she
did
did.
culinary school and
Yeah.
Yeah. My love language is doing the dishes.
Oh, okay.
So,
do you
yeah.
put them in the dishwasher?
No, we don't have one. I
Okay.
scrub
Oh,
them
wow,
down.
good for
Yeah,
you.
and
I have one and I don't use it.
I usually put them away if she doesn't get to it before me, because I usually put them in the rack and then put them away. But
Okay, so another funny story. What?
you don't use your dishwasher.
I don't use my dishwasher.
Goodness.
well, the dishes get cleaner.
So I don't use a dishwasher because I was raised without one. So never had one. So to me, I'm just like, I never understood washing the dish before you put it in the dishwasher. I just don't understand that.
I think that's stupid. And my mom used to say the same thing. And she's like, well, the dishwasher sanitizes them. I was like, no, I sanitize them when I scrub them.
All right. So, McKenna growing up, her friends would come over and they'd be looking for snacks. The dishwasher was the snack drawer.
No way. So you open your dishwasher. That's your dang business card holder for the snacks, and you just pull your rack out. You got your famous Amos.
These poor kids were like, "What?"
You got your famous Amos, your Doritos.
Yeah.
That's
Now
awesome.
it's a ribbon holder. Sorry.
Well, so
So I put all my ribbon that I use for the bags of peanut butter balls. They're in there. My ribbon in my bags. It's shut off. It's not going to turn off.
well, no, but so you got to open the thing all the way to the floor just to get your ribbon out.
That's all right. It keeps it clean, and the cat.
out of the way.
Like we have
Yeah.
animals, so I don't want my cats getting into my ribbon.
Pulling
so,
your ribbon out.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
but yeah, growing up, that was where you got your snacks. So
My mother-in-law does not use her dishwasher either.
okay,
And it's funny because you would think that type of behavior would transfer to my husband.
and it does not.
It does not.
Well, the interesting thing about that, I mean, is if you're just two people, unless you use a lot of dishes, which me and Amelia really don't, you don't really produce that much. So if you do it every night, you're cleaning 3 or 4 dishes, and it's pretty simple.
Yeah,
So when
I
we
have
had-
the adult party or the adult hangout house.
This is true.
I
Yeah.
guess.
So when McKenna was born, and you'll get to this where you have to have bottles, and they need to be sanitized. And so literally, my husband would take everything out of the dishwasher and put the bottles in there, and I'm like, you need to stop that. That's just not happening. I'm not doing that.
What'd you do instead?
He did it once. Wash them with
well, you
really
said
hot water.
Oh, well, I do that
Yeah.
with regular dishes, so we
Yeah.
should be fine.
Yeah, you'd be fine.
Everybody's like, get one of those bottle sanitizers. I'm like, that's stupid.
What is that saying? God made dirt, dirt don't hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Drop your kid on the floor. It's fine. I'm
Kid
kidding.
will be drinking from the garden hose.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
We used to all the time.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm not spitting out credit cards out of my mouth from the microplastics, so
Right?
we're good.
You didn't put Tide Pods in your mouth, did you?
No, I wasn't one of those.
Okay, good.
I did try the fidget spinner with the air gun thing. Apparently, that was really dangerous.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, with the clean air.
Yeah, you could take it. Well, no, you could take an air compressor and take the fidget spinner, and you can get it spinning 500 miles an hour and throw it on the floor, and it would shoot around.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that I lived through a series of my life there. I shouldn't be alive to this day and age from some of the stuff we used to do.
I believe
Have you ever
it.
tipped a cow?
No,
Okay.
we don't have very many up here. Is it
Oh,
as
true.
easy as they say?
No.
Oh,
No. But I've done it before.
Because you grew up in the South, didn't you?
Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Yep.
Okay.
Northeast.
yeah.
Yep.
You were cow tipping out there? How does that work?
Well, how do you
I'm
think
not
it works?
asking for any. Well, I mean, I watched Cars as a kid, so they just honk their horns.
Okay, so this was like if
This-
you were supposed to be drinking when you're underage, and you decided you're going to go out in the country and tip over a cow because you thought it was fun. Or
Yeah.
one of the things we did growing up and was we did scavenger hunts,
Okay.
and like Dip Top was like an ice cream place there, and like you wanted to steal the cone off the top of the building, or you wanted to pick up I wasn't always good,
Well, everybody's done bad stuff.
or roadkill was 100 points.
So, you know
You
what?
couldn't hit it, you had to find it already hit.
Oh,
But anyway,
okay. Well, I was gonna make a joke. Well,
but cow tipping was
that's awesome. No, me and my friends, I'd always be like, yeah, I'll swerve into that little rabbit.
oh
But I never did because everybody, there'd usually be a
says
girl in the car and they'd be like, don't do it.
yeah. Oh no,
Don't hit the rabbit.
Don't
I was
hit the
like,
rabbit, don't hit Bambi.
it's going to get hit one day or just die.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So I've always been kind of curious because I've known Steve for a while. And
Uh-huh.
for those of you that,
I've never met him.
what?
yeah,
Well, you'll meet him Saturday night.
Okay.
I know the myth, the legend, there is a Steve.
He is that's really funny. I was actually telling somebody that story today. So played softball for like many years when we first moved here, and played out here. And one day he was going to work, and I didn't have time to go get McKenna at my parents, so he brought McKenna to the field. And my friend Jody's like, "Who is that?" And I'm like, "That's my husband." She's like, "You're married?"
Well,
So yes, he is a myth and a legend. And
yeah, I feel like I've never seen him at any of the public events. And
Yes, you have.
really?
At the Matsu Miners auction.
at the
Was he
yeah.
there?
Yeah, he was. He was sitting right next to me.
Where?
He was our filer. He was the master filer.
So what's kind of funny, and I just recently put this together, and Erin Moore brought it up. She's
Mm-hmm.
like, how did you guys marry such introverted people when
Correct.
you guys are so
Yep.
extroverted adults?
Yes.
And
That's all three of us. You know what? Like Amelia's the same way.
Yeah.
Very introverted.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt.
Well,
No,
opposites
no.
attract.
yeah.
But you're right. Yes. Very introverted.
You have to have that front runner and then the person in behind the scenes that, does a lot of the extra stuff.
Yeah. And it's teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work. And, you work together and work hard. And yeah.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right. He is just the opposite. He is very quiet into himself, and he could care less if we go out anywhere. I mean, probably besides the racetrack when we were in Virginia, when we first got married, we didn't go out.
See, that bugs me because like Amelia's the same way. Like I'm like, do you not want to be seen with me in public? And
that's his running joke he tells.
oh, it's the best joke. It's the only thing I say. I'm like, do you just not want to be seen with me? Am I ugly? Like, but
No, you just wear that orange sweatshirt all the time.
I
No,
guess I am. Well, here's the deal. That's my brand, right?
Right,
And so
I know.
that's how I get noticed, right? But like, I've been like, hey, like anywhere you want. Like we can go to dinner anywhere you want. I will drive north. I'll drive south. I'll drive way south. I don't care. We can go to Homer, but can we go to dinner? And she's like, no. She does not want to go out.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. It might change.
I
Steve's
hope.
gotten better. I mean, when we got here to Alaska, we used to go. I mean, here we go again. We knowing people. So we used to go to the Aces games.
Oh,
Anchorage Aces.
we talked
Alaska
about
Aces.
those
Yeah.
in the last episode. They're my favorite. They
Yeah.
were.
Yep.
Former.
So we had season tickets and we used to go. And again, big hockey fans. But then after we actually worked there for a while at the Sullivan, and that's how we met Jeannie and Ken.
I don't know Jeannie and Ken.
They are Ben Peltier's parents.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. What a connection there.
Yeah. Yep.
That's awesome.
So
Again, if you don't know Erika,
6 degrees of separation or 3.
you're under a rock.
Well, and here's the deal. Erica knows everybody. So then when you need that contact, you just hit her up and be like, yo, Erica, I need somebody that can do this or that.
I have done that 1,000 times.
100%.
So anyway, we worked at the Sullivan Arena. We
Yeah.
got to see concert. We got to go, watch hockey, fights, whatever. That's another thing that we've been doing the last couple of years is helping with the fights out here.
So have those been going on for a very long time? Because I'm new to that scene.
Yeah, they have been going on. So Billy and Heather Christensen own Ace Alaska combat. And so they had fights out here, and then they bought AFC from Sarah. So they do them in Anchorage now, but there's one coming up, I think, in April. And
Okay.
so I run their box office.
Oh, so hit her up for tickets.
Yeah.
Because I've wanted to go, and I've heard
It's a ton of fun. It's a ton of fun to watch.
We'll go this next time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard nothing but good things about it. People have a blast. You can get tables up close and like
Yeah.
be right in it, like a
Yeah.
UFC fight, but in Alaska.
Yeah. And they have them, the ones out here, they had to downscale, the economy, COVID, whatever. So they're at the train depot in Palmer. They put the cage all the way up to the front. Yeah.
No way.
And they put tables
Okay.
around and
So here's a topic, or here's something that Robbie and I have talked about many, many times in the last few months. What do we do here in the Valley in the winter? You know everything, everybody. What should we be doing in the winter other than going bowling and to the movie theater and now the fun center?
I mean, the fights, volunteer. I mean, we watch hockey a lot. Did I mention we like hockey? We're big Rangers fans.
Right?
Like
I literally asked her to do something last week, and she's like, I'm watching a hockey game.
Well, can't get in the way of that.
No,
it's important to us.
it is.
McKenna and I are going to California in next weekend, not this weekend, next weekend. We're going to catch a couple games down there, see some friends from her when she was there. But yeah,
That's awesome.
you plan that around like where the team you like. We like the Rangers.
Right.
And that was from just taking her. She was in middle school and we went to Madison Square Garden to watch the Rangers and the Penguins play.
Wow.
And she's a huge hockey fan, like more than me. Like she had a fantasy hockey team last year.
No way.
Did really, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Girl loves hockey. And so
But like
on yesterday, we all have our jerseys on watching the game.
you get into it.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
So my dad can hardly hear. He has hearing aids, which he doesn't wear, but he doesn't like to come watch hockey games with us because I yell at the TV a lot. Literally. Yeah.
You're into it like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
bet on sports or no?
No.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So anyway,
But for
what do you do in the wintertime? I don't know. You just like get out and do things.
right?
You do things with friends and yeah,
I
or
feel
not
like-
if you're an introvert.
Yeah. Well, I just feel like it's a point we've been trying to make, and maybe hopefully we can inspire somebody to start a business pertaining to stuff in the winter out here. I mean,
Yeah.
there is stuff to do, but you can only go bowling so many times.
Yeah.
And you can only
Unless
hit,
you're a leaguer.
right. And I guess you can hit the theater all the time because there's always new movies, but it's just hard, right?
What
You know-
What do you think you've been doing in my living room with your girlfriend
Yeah.
the
I mean,
last few
like,
Sundays?
The other thing is like something we used to do way back when is we used to play cards. We love playing cards, board games.
Yeah.
We've been starting to do that. We went to Palmer Bar one night and played pool. I mean,
That's
that was
a
a ton
blast.
of fun. We taught McKenna how to play pool. Like my dad was trying to teach her and he's playing a different game and like, what are you doing? But,
Right. I feel like a lot of people feel kind of like in the winter in Alaska. I mean, this winter hasn't been so bad because people have been able to go out and go walking and ride their bikes because there's just no snow. But like, I feel like people get really hopeless in the winter here
Yeah.
because there's not as much to do, or
That's when you reach out to your friend and be like, hey,
I haven't seen
bring,
you.
yeah.
right?
Or just come hang out.
Come to the house,
Yeah.
right?
Just come hang out. There's nothing wrong with just like,
Being at home.
watching a sporting.
That's kind of also the power of volunteering because it gets you out of the house. It gives you something
Right.
to do.
And there's organizations in there's Special Olympics. There's ton of stuff to volunteer for. I only know all those because everybody asked me to make peanut butter balls for their auctions. So
Oh my gosh. Have
Well-
you ever seen how much her peanut butter balls go for at an auction?
Thousands.
yeah.
Thousands.
Literally.
Like there's one guy that will only bid $1,000 on your peanut butter ball.
That is Chris Heel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's a hoot, by the way. He's hilarious.
He is funny. But I mean, it's back to your connections and just building those relationships and figuring out what you like to do, what you like to help with. I'm sure like you could go and volunteer at Ski Talk,
Right.
or, help groom trails, or I don't know. There's mushers out there that need help doing things and caring for their dogs. So it's like, it really comes down to you and what you like to do.
Right.
What's in your heart. It doesn't have to be, if you wanted to go read at a school or, Junior Achievement's day. Junior Achievement has a day of J in a day, and it's in April, and basically teach kids how to work with the economy, how to, or go even better, Colony High School has their own coffee shop. You can volunteer there. There's so many things that you can do.
Right. And people just need to find the way to get to them.
Yeah.
You know?
Like Wasilla Senior Center is always looking for folks just to come deliver meals on wheels. Or have you ever been there for lunch?
I've never.
We should go there for lunch.
I've met the Wazzy lady. That's what I call her, the Wazzy lady.
Marlene
I
is
know,
amazing.
Yeah, she's the best. She's super nice. And no, I to be honest with you, I don't
Their
know
lunches
where
are
Wazzy is.
$10 and it's pretty good.
Really?
Yeah.
And so I'm assuming those funds go to help the seniors there.
Yeah. Yep.
That's awesome. We should do that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We've gone a couple times. Some of us from the bank will go a couple times and have lunch there and just sit and talk to the seniors.
Right?
They enjoy it.
Is it like a big space or small space?
It is a big space.
That might be fun for like an after hours.
Yeah. Oh, most definitely.
Like that's a great idea. I just came up with that. But like getting the chamber people out there to go do stuff like that.
Yep. But no, I mean, there's lots of things to do. Like, and like people just need to look, social media is always good about volunteer things or just call an organization. I'm sure United Way has something that they need help with,
Right.
Like they do Stuff the Bus in the fall where you can sponsor backpacks, go buy things, Salvation Army with their families at Christmas time. There is always a need. Boy Scouts always need volunteers for going places. Girl Scouts.
I know we're always looking for volunteers for our events, Colony Christmas. We need a ton of volunteers.
Right.
So.
After January 1st, I mean, pretty much all of the events, the business events start up. So you get all the charity auctions and stuff like that. And they're always
I don't care
for
what
people.
anybody says. Volunteering at those kinds of things get you to know people.
Yeah,
you get to know people.
And if you're a small business owner and getting started, again, we touched on this the very first episode, the power of your local chamber and how if you're starting your business, the first thing that Kaedyn and I have talked about is your CRM.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And if you have little to no marketing dollars, join a local chamber.
Right.
And utilize the power of that.
You
local
have that.
chamber.
You have Valley Board of Realtors.
VBOR is great.
Yeah. I go to that. Believe it or not, and this is pretty interesting. So in 1999, Northrim bought out the branches of Bank of America in Alaska. And so we had a branch out here. I was able like a year after to come out here and work. And so my job was to bring more business to the bank. So back in the day, that time, I had to go door to door. I actually had to go and, and sell myself basically, hey, you want to come bank with us? I don't have to do that now because my referral base is so huge.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm very fortunate and blessed in that capacity where people come to me and say, I've heard about you.
You've told me about the guy that said, I'm banking here because I've seen you so many times in the community.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
So,
well, and you're, one of my favorite.
well, it's a trust thing.
Yeah.
110%.
Can you trust somebody that you can't see or can't talk to?
Nope. Absolutely not.
Okay, Mr. American Express.
Well, fair enough. One of my favorite quotes, I've listed another quote today, but nope, you're good. Another good quote is your network is your net worth. I think it's one of my favorite quotes. And what I mean by that is the people you know is your way to grow.
Right.
If you know everybody and they see on Facebook that, hey, Johnny's looking for lawn care, they're going to say, hey, I know Kaedyn. Hit Kaedyn up at Snip and Clip, or hey, I need a banker, and everybody knows Erika. They're gonna say,
I tag Robbie all the time.
yeah,
And I tag Erica.
Yeah.
yep, 100%.
And we tag
Yeah.
you.
We do take.
We've tagged everybody. Yeah. I mean,
My friend Jamie, she does engraving. Jamie.
Yeah, Jamie's done swag for me.
Yeah, Jamie does engraving, and I tag her all the time and stuff when people are looking for different things. The shirt lady.
Yep.
I mean, that's the cheapest way. It doesn't cost you anything to refer to somebody or spread the word.
yeah,
Right. But if you're a small business owner starting out and you need to make yourself aware, volunteer.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yep.
So, I mean, just to kind of wrap up here, like, what can people do? Where can they find all the stuff for the racetrack? Where can they find stuff for the Matsu Miners? We talk about them in like every episode because they're great. And where can they find you? You at
Everywhere.
Northrim and you at Peanut Butter Balls.
Well, you've had my business card there up on the screen for my peanut butter balls.
Yep.
Northern Bank. I'm on Cruzy next to Global. That's where my desk is.
In Wasilla.
In Wasilla. But the best thing is to just call my cell, which is on the business card. As far as Alaska Raceway Park, our opening weekend is Mother's Day weekend, May 10th and 11th. And raceak.com is where you can find the schedule.
Perfect.
And or here or there, or just text me and ask me.
Right.
Or,
all of this will be in the description of this podcast too.
Yeah. So, and then the miners, matsuminers.org.
Matsuminers.org. We're down at Herman Brothers Field, right on the fairgrounds.
Yep.
Our schedule
June
is
3rd is the first game.
Yep.
Yeah.
We have a slightly shorter season this year, just by a week. But family friendly event.
Yeah.
Super.
And so is the racetrack or
racetrack is
the
awesome.
miners. I mean, and you're supporting. So the miners, you're supporting young men who are coming here to play baseball, who are in college, and there's some great people who will house them and take care of them.
And they do a ton of volunteer work while they're here.
There's a way to volunteer right there.
Yeah. And here's the other thing too is, those boys come up and a lot of those boys end up getting into the league, like the big leagues. Yep. So I think it's really special that we can support those people.
It's just a really fun place to be, hanging out.
We talked about it with Jake Nelson. He likes to bring his kids down. And,
Yeah.
It's that all-American small-town feel that we have.
Yep.
And the racetrack equally brings that. And I run into people all the time. They're like, there's a racetrack here?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Or there's baseball here?
It's off the beaten path. I mean, realistically,
both things are, but they aren't.
well, so the highway, that used to be the main highway. Old Glen used to be the main Glen.
Right.
Thank you for the history lesson.
Right. Well, and for the people that, maybe just moved here and are listening, that used to be the way people drove. So everybody knew about it. There used to be a sign out there, wasn't there?
There's still, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. And so, people used to know about it when coming out to the valley. And nowadays, the signs.
It's more because people don't slow down and smell the roses, basically. That's the way I look at it.
We're living on these bricks.
We're all so busy that we just need to take the time and slow down. Saturday mornings when I head out to the track and I watch the kids, because the kids are racing too. And that's phenomenal. I think it was 4 seasons ago, maybe 3, where we started the Bandolero class, and that's the kids class.
That's a good one.
It's a Briggs & Stratton lawnmower engine, and they're all regulated, and they can start at 7. So, that is one of our larger classes.
And
we
then,
have close to 15 kid driving.
Right.
And then it's the junior dragsters on the drag side.
Yeah.
But that's your future right there.
Those are the kids that are going to be running the big cars eventually. And
we have kids going outside. We have a kid down in Florida right now, and he's driving late models.
Right. I heard about that. I thought that was really cool. And
Trent Dillard.
They raised money for him.
Yep. Wasilla, he was at Wasilla High School.
Yeah.
And then Wyatt Flowers drives the Legend car, and he's been down south a couple times. We've watched him race. Yeah. So,
RC Detail is actually a sponsor of Wyatt's.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep. So, but little things like that,
It's super fun. And I actually Wyatt came in, and his parents don't do his fundraising for him.
Yep.
He does it.
He does it.
I saw it firsthand myself, right? That was a kid that was in there a couple days ago. He was in there and he said, "Hi, Mr. Robbie. We're looking for fundraising, and how much?" Robbie's like, "How much you need?" And write the check.
Again, if you like a sport, then there's got to be something that you can do to volunteer there too. Look how much hockey is here. Look at basketball. If you feel like you want to officiate or keep score or whatever.
Right.
There's all kinds of things to volunteer for.
Yeah.
And that's a great thing. You're giving back to the youth. You're showing them, that you want to help out. Yeah.
Right. If you can show up for those kids, they will be encouraged to continue in their doings.
Yep.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Well, thank you, Erika, for coming on.
Thank you.
It's been such a blast. You've been the most easy person to talk to, I will say.
Okay.
It's been a lot of fun. Your stories are just top notch.
Well, thanks. I appreciate the time that you guys put into doing this to help small business. It's very near and dear to my heart to help people in the community grow and prosper.
Yeah.
Because that's what you want them to do.
Right.
Because you could be the person who's running the cash register, but you still own the business. And so, just want to see people succeed.
right? We want to see growth out here. I mean,
Yep.
the Valley is the biggest, the best,
Well, it's the fastest growing community in Alaska right
Right.
now. We've just passed Fairbanks in population, and yeah.
wow.
So
It's awesome.
yeah.
Again, everybody, if you see the three of us out in the community or any of our guests we've had so far, please say hello.
We are normal people. I've said this every time. We are normal people. We're just doing a little show in a shop, and we're not that crazy. So come say hi to us. If you watch the show, let us know. We want to hear feedback.
Buy Erika's peanut butter balls.
Buy the damn peanut butter balls. They're the best.
Thank you.
Yeah, at Erika's peanut butter balls.
Right.
All right. Well, everybody, I'm Kaedyn,
I'm Robbie.
and that's Erika.
I'm
And,
Erika.
And this is 907
Dollar
Business.
bills.
Yeah. Have a good night.
Have a good night.